What's up, guys? Today we're talking about 5 habits of millionaires, and this is taken from Chris Hogan's website. He has an article called 5 Simple Habits of the Average Millionaire. And if you're not familiar with Chris Hogan, he's one of the Dave Ramsey, I guess, prodigies, whatever you call him. Dave Ramsey has several people that he's kind of helping do exactly what he does, which is help people in the financial business into, getting out of debt, those kinds of things, and setting themselves up for millionaire status and successful retirement without being dependent upon, government and things like that. So Chris Hogan, he's a fun guy, doing a great job. He wrote the book Everyday Millionaires, which I've read, which I did a review on, and I've pulled a lot of great information out of that. So this is from him. Here's the 5 simple tips that he gives. Millionaires are avid readers. Okay. So he says that not every leader or not every reader is a leader, but every leader is a reader. And so, essentially millionaires are people who are looking to extract the best information they can find and apply it to their own lives. And so they, have that in common where they're passionate about reading the best books they can find and applying it. And so, that reminds me of Jim Rohn. He talks about, your library should be one of your most important things that you could pass on to your kids and family, right? Having that knowledge at your fingertips and not using it is a major failure. Millions of books have been written. The ones that are tried and true, you should definitely get your hands on and pull that information out, because a lot of success principles are sort of built on these foundations of basics. And if you can nail those down, you're going to be successful. And those are constantly written about and rewritten about in books. Millionaires understand delayed gratification. This may be one of the biggest keys to becoming a millionaire, because in his book, Everyday Millionaires, the majority of millionaires don't even make like 6 figures in their salary jobs, right? They didn't inherit a bunch of money. They're self-made millionaires off typical incomes, but they leverage certain things. One of them is delayed gratification. They put their money to work for them. It doesn't really matter how much money. Obviously, you got to make enough money to have some extra, but you don't need to make a ton of money in order to put money to work for you by investing it, right? So leveraging your employer's retirement account that's provided through your job, funding a Roth IRA or mutual funds or whatever. In my case, I take advantage of my job's retirement accounts, but then I have a kind of an unusual passion for investing in the stock market. And so I spend a lot of time doing that. And it's brought me great returns for the money I put in there. And so delayed gratification, just to kind of exemplify this, I did a quick calculation based on $10,000 a year. If you could save $10,000 a year and invest it, how much it would come up with. And now, before you get crazy about thinking that I'm out of my mind that you could save $10,000 a year, I would challenge that. I have a video called 5 Ways You're Wasting Money Without Realizing It, where I essentially cover, just through things like cutting your own hair, drinking water instead of coffee, soda, alcohol, etc., reducing your thermostat, whatever. I can't remember. I listed a bunch of things. And just from those simple things, you could save like $5,000 a year. Cable TV, your phone bill, like certain things, you could save $5,000 a year just from those things. Now, don't even get me started on like buying new cars or driving new cars or massive amounts of insurance that you're paying for those cars. Renting or buying too much house. Like, there's so many ways people are spending far beyond $10,000 a year that they could easily save. Okay. So if you delay those things, you don't just indulge yourself by that nice car, because if you buy a nicer car, you also have nicer insurance bills, right? So your insurance costs go up, the maintenance, everything is more expensive. Same with a house. You buy that really big house, all the bills are more expensive. Your heating bill's more expensive, your electrical bill's more expensive, your insurance is more expensive, your taxes are more expensive. Like everything's more. So you delay those gratifications a bit. You could pay cash for some of this, and then it's no big deal that the monthly utilities are more. So 10 grand a year. If you invested $10,000 a year at 10% for 15 years, 15 years is not that long, you'd have $359,000. That's more than I owe on this house. It's more than this house is probably worth. It's but in 15 years you could pay cash for a small house. That's called delayed gratification. That's the reward that you get. Could you imagine 15 years from now just paying cash for a house, and you now have no payment, no mortgage, you still have the same salary, you got all this free, extra cash. So your net worth is growing much quicker than the people that bought depreciating assets like cars and trailers and boats and food and whatever. And your net worth is going up. So this may be the biggest key to millionaires becoming millionaires, is delayed gratification. They put their money where it will work for them, and they forego a few of these minor fun things. They stay away from debt. In everyday millionaires, most of them paid off their house in like 10 and a half years or less. They do not get debt. They don't get student loans, things like that. So they're always trying to buy on cash. Now, it makes sense, right? Debt means you're paying interest on everything you spend. So if you buy a car with on a loan, you're going to pay much more than your car cost off the lot, right? And that's a depreciating asset. So you're getting hit double. You bought a bad asset. I mean, it's an asset because you need to get to work. You need to be able to transport your family, whatever, but it's going to become worth less quickly compared to other, financial assets, investments, things like that. So you bought a depreciating asset and then you carried it out for a 6 or 7 year loan. You're going to end up paying more than you even, paid off the lot. It's just a bad way to go. So you buy things like that with cash, and you get the lowest amount of damage done for that depreciating asset. Same with other things. I mean, even appreciating assets, if you buy a house cash, you get it for the lowest. Like if you've looked at a mortgage statement and you carry out a loan for 30 years, you pay, pretty close to double for your house. I mean, I guess in today's market, it wouldn't be so bad because you can get mortgage rates for under 3%. So even still, a $350,000 house, you pay 100 and change in interest. So if you can pay cash, you get away with that. That's $100,000 that stays in your pocket, right? Now on the other end, you also want to invest money, and that puts you on the side of receiving interest. That's why that's how that works, right? Millionaires Budget. Okay, this is highly correlated with your ability to forego, small things, the delayed gratification. They live by a budget. A budget is the way you put yourself in the driver's seat when it comes to money. Most people just kind of, they're always needing more money. They always need a $30,000 raise to get themselves right where they want to be. Even if they get that raise, they need another $30,000. That's human nature. We all want more money. I mean, even top paid athletes making $30 million a year want more money. So people spend what they've got and they want to stretch that out because there's always more. This world has so many good things to offer us that there's always more that you could get, right? More entertainment, more nice things, another car, it's just endless. So fun. And that's a beautiful thing about this world. But if you don't have a control of your budget, your money, your personal desires, the things that mean a lot to you, if you don't understand the difference between needs and wants, you'll never be in the driver's seat. And if you do not control your money needs will control you and your lifestyle to a certain degree for your entire life. So a budget is the way you put yourself in the driver's seat and define, these are the things I'm going to buy. Here's how much money I'm going to put towards every single category in my life. These are the things that I'm just going to put off for, I will never have them because they're not the priorities or not important enough to me. These are the things that if I one day am, more wealthy than I am right now or anticipate, then yes, maybe I'll get those. These are the things that I'm absolutely going to do. And your budget is laid out for that. That puts you in the driver's seat. It empowers you to achieve your goals and your dreams. And you're no longer a slave to money. Money becomes a slave to you. Millionaires give. They're very generous. Generous people are extremely attractive, which presents more opportunity, good relationships, a feeling of satisfaction and gratitude and kindness. It's an emotional positive in your life if you're a giver, right? Millionaires have a sense of like a desire to serve other people, which drives them to delay gratification. It drives them to, pass on something that's kind of seems fun, but it's not really going to give a ton of joy over time, and put their money in something that will give them joy over time, which is giving charitably to some person or cause. And so these are 5 habits that millionaires practice that you should adopt. That, the one caveat I'll say about like the debt, you hear a lot of people, such as like Robert Kiyosaki, that talk about leveraging debt to become a millionaire. I'm not completely against that, but the thing is people like Robert Kiyosaki are obsessive about business, and they have this massive wealth of knowledge in like real estate and other businesses, and then they spend a ton of their time learning the game, understanding the game, and they know they now have this ability to put invested, borrowed money into investments that will return them money with a small amount of risk. The more you know about a certain type of industry or business, the less risk there is, right? But the majority of people are not obsessive about business. They're more obsessive about entertainment, family time, downtime, like things that do not bring them exponential returns off of debt. So for the vast majority of people, it's in your interest to avoid debt like the plague, and do not pretend that you're going to be like Robert Kiyosaki or, some of the other real estate gurus or people that have leveraged debt to make a lot of money. Most people cannot do that because it's a competitive game. You've got to be obsessive and crazy. So I'm rambling now, but that's Chris Hogan's list of 5 simple habits of everyday millionaires. And so I encourage you to adopt those practices into your life. I'd love to hear your experience with these things. If you've exemplified those in your life, or if you disagree with them, please comment below. So I hope you found value from this. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe, share this video. Also, if you are a YouTuber yourself and you're interested in upping your game with YouTube to have better analytics and help yourself understand where you can rank and improve your channel's rankings and ability to reach your audience, I recommend TubeBuddy. So I will throw the link below. If you're interested in TubeBuddy, you can click that link and get those services for as little as $4.50 a month. So click that link, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next video.